here's the kicker. We're going to be talking about, how a tiny seed grows into a huge tree. And he said, with what can we compare the kingdom of God, or what parable shall we use it? It is like a grain of a mustard seed, which when sown on the ground is the smallest of all seeds on earth. Yet when it is sown, it grows up and becomes larger than all the garden plants and puts out large branches, so the birds of the air can make nests in its shade. With many such parables that he spoke the word to them as they were able to hear it. He did not speak to them without a parable, but privately to his disciples he explained everything. So Jesus kicks off with a question that grabs the crowd, right? And it grabs their attention. It says, how can we picture God's kingdom, right? So he could have chosen like a mighty cedar or a dazzling palace, or but he picks a mustard seed, right? It's the tiniest speck in a farmer's pouch, and it's about like 1 or 2 millimeters small. It's that tiny, right? And that culture, people expected the Messiah, his kingdom, to roll in with trumpets and armies, toppling the Rome in one go. But Jesus says, think smaller, think seed. But here's the kicker: that tiny seeds grows into a plant that's huge, sometimes 10 to 12 feet tall, that it dwarfs every other garden plant and becomes a haven for birds, right? It's a picture of God's kingdom starting small, almost invisible, but bursting into something vast and welcoming through through his power alone, right? So the kingdom of God starts as something seemingly insignificant, right? It's a carpenter from Nazareth, right? A ragtag group of disciples, a whispered gospel, but grows into a vast, welcoming reality that transforms lives and nations. It's about God's sovereign work, taking the smallest acts of faith and turning them into something extraordinary, right? So as we dig deeper into our text today, we'll see how this parable challenges our expectations, calls us to action, and offers us hope.